we are only possible because of, like you said, the laws of physics and chemistry, because those are the truly the hard boundaries of the universe that we can't seem to be able to break down, right? Like energy, you can't create or destroy energy. There will always be there. You just transfer from one, and that's just the fundamental truth of the universe as far as we know, right?
Do you know the theory of supernovas?
Yeah.
So it goes something similar, because you have to have the right conditions in the universe so a supernova can exist.
Yeah. And that's what it is. And they're so rare. But without supernovas, like, did you know that we were a part of supernovas?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So there's, like, that evidence right there is just like we are a direct result of what is happening in the universe on a bigger scale. I don't know. Hopefully when I die, I don't want to be buried in like a casket or anything. I think I would like to be just like buried beside a tree, just dig a hole and just leave my body there. I don't know, man. Like, let the scavengers come, let the fucking fungi and the other plants and bacteria grow on me, because that's what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to return to the earth that I come from, so that I can feed and continue the cycle of life. I have to complete that next step as a human being, and I think we all do.
Welcome to Awaken Consciousness Podcast.
All right, well, First of all, man, I'd like to say just thank you for having me on the podcast. It's been, when I first met you 2 years ago, bro, we were strangers, but eventually we became, best friends, right? You became my employer at some point, which I'm grateful for. But your friendship and your hospitality, how you've invited people here, and the community that you've built, right? I'm grateful to be a part of it. I have been for the last 2 years. And, it's painful for me to say, but, it's, I don't know, it's hard for me to move on, but I got to get back home. It's time for me to move on. And, I don't know, I would just like to say thank you for all the memories that we've shared. I'm grateful for all of it. Bro, that summer when we first met at the marina during the summer, bro, the sunsets, the volleyball, the camaraderie, the parties after, like, those memories are always going to be with me, So, yeah.
Cheers for that.
Cheers to that, brother. It was... Yeah, it was... I know it's very abrupt that I'm leaving this way, but it's just been a long time coming, I think.
Bro, me too. Not only you.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't expect that from you either, you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. It was a chapter in our lives. I think we both learned a lot of lessons here, right? Which I'm grateful for. We got a lot of life experience. I'm wiser now, right? I know what I want to do, what I don't want to do, right? I'm grateful for the time that I've spent here. I feel like I've grown a lot as a human being. It was a going away process. And unfortunately, just things didn't work out for me, right? Man, that's okay,
Well, as we was previously discussing, it's like every time a door closed, two
new windows open.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, back home, I just have connections that I could utilize. And, I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have there, right? I'm happy to go. Honestly, I'm happy to be going back to see my family. Like, I missed 2 years of my younger brother high school football years, right? Didn't get to see him grow up for the last 3 years, right? I missed time with my other friends. I missed time with my mom. I gave up a lot to be here for her. But so I'm excited to be going back. But also at the same time, I make connections here, right? And it's, I don't know, man. Like, when you're like attached and you have that connection as a human being, it's difficult to let go. So I don't know, I've said goodbye to 3, 4, 5 meaningful people, and like, bro, it gets harder the more goodbyes I say, because I know I'm not gonna be able to see them on a daily basis. I can't just drive over and be like, hey, like, I'll be over there in 15, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So and
now it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be there in 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be there in 4 hours. I'll see you at the beach. You know what I mean? I'll see you next weekend type of thing. But yeah, I mean, we'll get there, and it's a see you later for now.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm just grateful for the memories that we made, for the friendship that you've offered me, and just a chance to be a part of each other's lives. You know, I won't forget it. And you have a friend in me for life, man. You know, so when I get back home, let me go through what I got to go through after after I get there and go through the adjustments. But
into the balance.
Yeah.
Balance life.
Yeah,
okay,
bro.
Here we go again.
Tabernacle, yeah, bro. Man, stop, bro. Stop, man. Stop. You're gonna fucking make me cry.
Bro, like it's same for me, you know, like 6 years I came to Canada with $100 in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I have to like start from the scratch and like rebuild my empire first, mentally and emotionally, and then later like manifest it in the physical world.
Yeah.
In the reality way, what we call it.
Dude, honestly, like that's how it works. Is you have to see it first. You have to have it in your mind's eye. You have to be able to visualize it, you know. And as a human being, like if you're, I think, working towards a vision or some kind of purpose, then you're lost, you know. And that's how I felt here for the last few years. I felt lost. I'm searching for what it is that I want to do. You know, I'm wandering because, like, when I played sports when I was in, coming up as a young kid in high school, junior high, right, university, that kind of structure gave me purpose. You know, it gave me discipline, gave me structure, it gave me teammates, it gave me coaches, right, it gave me opportunities, and as that all came to an end, kind of in 2020, I stopped being a student athlete. You know, I stopped going to school because I'd graduated at that point. And 2019, we won the national championship, and then I was thinking of going to the CFL for the combine, but, you know, didn't happen that year. And then I was like, okay. And then, you know, that fifth season that I was thinking of coming back and play my fifth year, that didn't happen either because COVID happened, right? And season got canceled, and you know, as you know, my childhood wasn't pretty. You know, I never really felt safe at home. So as a result of that, there was just a lot of things going for me mentally that kind of I had to process, right? I was like, boom, boom, keep going. I had school, you know, I got to grind workouts. We just come off, a 12-game season. Like my body was beat up. I needed to still get through school, but then life at home was also so shitty, and it's just like I had so many things going all at once, and then COVID happened, and then there's nothing going at once. And then when I had nothing, all the feelings that I've been suppressing for so many years eventually just came up, you know. And then I had to come at the terms of, you know, my, like, who I was. I don't know, being an athlete was like almost who you are, right? Like I was a football player first almost, and then a student second.
Yeah, that was like your first personality.
Exactly.
You know, like humans, we all have like different personalities depending like the circle we are with. Like if we are with our family, we have some type of behavior. Yeah. If we are with our friends, we have a different type of behavior. If we are, I don't know, in a court, we have a different type of behavior.
Yeah.
So depending like the environment is the behavior that you have.
Exactly, that's it, man.
Yeah. And, you know, like, one of the many things that I've been not learning, but kind of like discovering since I met you, it's that you also has helping me to like rebuild consciousness. Because you see consciousness from a lost perspective, that at the beginning is like you don't see what you're doing, you kind of like just live and exist just for football, and then you're a human being, etc. And like how I can see from different perspectives too, because I've been lost too, like a lot of people too, to rebuild your consciousness and to rebuild your purpose, and
your identity, who you are, you know,
beyond beliefs, beyond cultures, beyond pre-programmed ideas that has happened since you're born around you.
Absolutely. And it can be so many things, right? Like what your purpose, what your vision is, or whether it's like in health or finance, like whatever it is, right? As a human being, like I think you just need to have purpose in life, right? And like as I was saying, like football gave me that purpose. But then afterwards, when the main purpose or the main kind of driver in my life, other than like both school and football, I just didn't know who I was. So like you're saying, I don't know who I am outside of those things. So I had to rebuild my identity and like, what is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that I want to contribute to humanity? What is it that I like? What kind of relationship do I want to have? Not just others, but with myself. You know, what do I want to contribute to the world? How can I contribute to the world? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? You know, so like all these like questions just came to my mind while I was also like processing my personal trauma, you know, of my childhood, but also like my body was just kind of broken at the end, you know, like I needed to like rebuild myself physically and mentally. Like I got, you know, 2 outer toes that I got nerve damage in and I can't really fully feel, and like they're clamped together because of, you know, somebody came and fractured it, and then my knees are crooked, you know, I got fucking, anyway, like either way, like when that all came to an end, I had to rebuild you have like you have to find out what it is, who you are, what you want to do in life, and those questions I still have. I don't know. I feel like I'm still trying to answer.
Well, that's the beginning, the questioning part, right? Like the first enlightenment, or the first satori, as they call it in Japanese. It's an enlightenment, satori.
Yeah.
So the first enlightenment is like self-awareness.
Yeah.
So once you have self-awareness, then now you can find purpose, because now you know where to go.
Yeah.
You know, because it's going to be a conscious path to follow. And as we was also talking previously about finding your tribe, you know, and if you don't find your tribe, then build your tribe.
Yeah.
You know, and build a tribe with type of values that you want most of the members
to have,
or all, if it's possible, to be to have. You know, it's not like dictatorship or something like that. Everybody have to have these values. You don't like it, like fine.
That's fine.
But most of us share the same values that we can contribute something to society and to our lives too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like honestly, I'm very impressed with what you've done here, bro. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get to know you, get close to you, is because I see you as somebody who's gone through similar trials and tribulations to be where you are. And, you know, you've built a successful, you know, a life here, you know, I would say, and something to be really admired for. Like, and you're somebody that I look up to. You know, you've been a mentor, a brother, and a great friend all at once, you know. And I don't know, like I have a lot to learn from you, is what I'm saying, you know. And just the tribe that you've built here, the Marina crew, like bro, it's been honestly one of the best summers of my life, you know. And you gave me that. And the first time I approached you, I was like, hey, can I play? And you let me play, and it was just like, man, like, you're part of the reason why I enjoyed Ottawa so much, and why I also fucking hurts to be saying goodbye, you know. It's because like, now I'm not gonna be able to go, you know, in 20 minutes and be at the beach with CU and Lester, and
plus we hope to be more than like 4 months a year, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
Because that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like the weather, it doesn't limitate us.
Yeah,
like
of course. I know.
Now I'm not gonna have that problem.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be at the beach the entire time, and it's gonna be good.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Every day in the year.
Bro, your mental health is gonna be so good over there.
You know what? I was this is funny. My girlfriend was doing me an exam of blood, and she's like, she's a doctor. She knows like all like the general exams, like to know like everything about your health.
Yeah.
And she's like, I will send you these 33 exams of blood.
Okay.
Just to see how you look.
A full analysis.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like from bottom to top.
Yeah.
And she's like, you are more healthy than what I was expecting, because your habits are not the best. And I'm like, see, it's the mentality.
Also the exercise and the nutrition.
Yeah.
Right. And the social connection, like all those things, man. you know. I don't know. And like as a human being, like you need to. While I was out here, I also learned how to take care of myself. You know, as a human being, what do I actually need? What you know, and part of finding my purpose like was one, I realized I'm an extremely social person, so I needed to be in an environment with other people. Right, I'm an extrovert. I've always been a part of a team. And then when I also came back and found coaching again, that's when I was like, okay, now I feel like I know where I'm supposed to be. I know what I enjoy. So going back and hopefully, starting a coaching career with the Dinos, going back to my old university, my alma mater, and then getting back to the game, paying forward and helping younger athletes get better, and hopefully, try to win another championship. But it's not even about that. I think for me, it's just coming back to who I was, and being part of that team environment again, right? Being part of guys and having a purpose, and again, just that daily process of being a football player. Like I loved all of it,
And at some point, bro, after that, you can actually like open a website about coaching, and you do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then you have the coaching podcast, and then you get money from there.
Yeah.
You create your tribe.
Yeah.
Like you charge a subscription. You have a basic subscription and a gold subscription.
Yeah. Just commercialize it. Yeah.
And that's it. And you do what you like. Like and you make money from it, and you add some value to the world.
Yeah.
And some other also like make money and also add value to the world.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win for like everybody.
Yeah. Potentially.
Yeah. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah. And we'll see. But I think my primary purpose is to come back and I think I need this for myself more than I do it for other people.
But of course, like at the beginning, like is like your self-awareness.
Yeah.
Is that your consciousness is the one who fucked.
Yeah.
So you will have to rebuild your consciousness, like with self-awareness,
Yeah.
You create like your new structure.
Yeah.
Now you reach your life or your purpose. Like your life for this purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that purpose, whatever.
Exactly.
Choose for.
And like you said, it's just like there's different parts of your brain that need different things. As a human being, I need to be around football. I need to be around friends, or I need to, be in an environment where it gives me purpose. Because without having that purpose or something to strive for, you become lost, right? So, anyway, enough about that. But I'm willing to, I'm very happy to be going back and coaching, building my tribe from there, and then also from there. My old high school coach, he's a very successful businessman and somebody that I've always looked up to. Reached out to him, and he works in real estate, so I'm hoping to at least start a job there and see what I can do, what I can contribute over there as well. Have a bit of a stable job, and then coach, and then process. Bro, life from there, bro. From there. See my friends for sure, bro. Come back and reconnect with my friends back. Like, man, like there's a lot of high school, like childhood friends that I haven't seen in like
take it one step at a time.
That's true, man.
Take it one step at a time. Even like people is pushing you because sometimes like the people is like, come on, you hurry up, like you're doing it too slow. Relax, bro. It's like
that's true.
I was talking to a friend.
But it's also finding that balance too, right? Yeah.
I was talking to a friend last time that he was telling me like how you, for example, you as your podcast, like people when people start like getting more subscriptions on you, and people start getting gold subscription, and it will start demanding more time of you.
Yeah.
Like how you will manage it. And then I was like, well, I create like this AI. It's called Shaman AI, which is a spiritual coach, and it's helping like so much because it's based like I program it in a way to be based in shadowing you, like in terms of like the Carl Jung psychology, and also create these archetypes so again you can understand you better, and have like emotional like connection with like a human perspective.
Bro, that's cool, man.
Yeah, and have
so it learns from you, then becomes a similar thing as you, and so like it learns from you, so you're essentially that AI talking to millions of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only comes, it's like an expansion of your consciousness.
Yeah.
But an enhanced part of your consciousness.
Yeah.
Because it's with AI.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part of it is like it connects and adapts individually to each user.
Right.
Because it's an AI, so it's not like a manuscript.
Learns from you. learns from the person that they're just talking to, right? And then that's it's very good that it learns from both parties and it consolidates it and then that's brilliant, bro. Technology is impressive,
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, and then if like these users that are gonna have very intense, wanna continue like, I want your time, not the AI, yours.
Yeah.
Pay me, motherfucker. I'm also busy. Like I'm gonna invest my time with you and help you.
Yeah.
But like that's why I give like the basic subscriptions and the gold subscriptions. But if you want like, I don't know, super VIP subscription, then you want my time, then of course you have to pay me for my time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm expensive, bitch.
Pay the man,
Yeah.
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. And like, I don't know, how's the podcast going? Obviously, I haven't been a part of it for a little while, but I've seen you release your clips in here and there. But overall, what's been your experience being a podcaster like?
Well, as I mentioned it previously, is first like understand the whole production, how it works. I'll find you a video editor and having a good communication with him also to understand your idea as best possible. It's been excited. It's like a new experience. It's a journey, like kid, like you open your eyes and like, where are you? Like, looks interesting. I just want to jump.
Yeah.
So I am the type of person. There's two type of person in the world, like the one who learn how to swim and then jump. Yeah. And the one who doesn't know how to swim but jump. It anyways and like learn the process
as he's going. Yeah. You like being thrown into the deep end first and then see if you can survive.
Exactly. Because I don't know, like deep dive on me, I know I'm immortal. Like we all are, right? Yeah. So no matter how I die, I will learn something that you don't. Because I was the only one who have the balls to jump.
Yeah, and you experienced it firsthand. You were in it, right?
So I know it's bullshit. It's true.
Yeah. Find out right away.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out every single time, But that's important, though. As a human being, you need to experience things in order for you to learn from it. That's how the brain is built, right? That neuroplasticity, like the fastest learners, or like your brain is built through experiential learning. Right. And like you said, if you don't jump in and find out right away, like it doesn't matter how much time you learn about it, or read about it, or if you don't experience it yourself, you're never going to know. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know, like I'm trying to treat life that way as well. Right. It's like every experience that you go through is an experience and it's part of the journey. Right. And then having peace in that, knowing that, honestly, as a human being, you don't have that much control over your life, over what happens, right? There's a lot of factors that we didn't control, right? We didn't control who we were born to, right? What area we grew up in, when, what the political or the environmental or the financial climate is like, right?
This is actually like a discussion I was having another time with another friend. Yeah. That it says that, what about we don't have free will? It's just like God says, like you got free will, but what about we don't? We just like, since God itself already know where we're gonna go, in what pattern, depending like the thought and idea, like where we're gonna go. Yeah. So that free will, it's already like set. But then you have the 99% of probabilities. Yeah, you don't have free will, but then you have 1% of you do. Yeah. And then that 1% can change the whole algorithm. Because this motherfucker decides, like, no, I'm gonna turn left. So what the fuck?
Yeah, you're not supposed to go that way, Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because like I don't know. What do you believe about free will? Because I don't.
I think like we are 99% manipulated by society, by pre-programming since born. Yeah. In cultures, religion, society, finance, whatever it is, they create this set of ideas in your consciousness and make you experience reality by these ideas, these concepts of life, with these laws of physics or chemistry or whatever the laws to existence that they have available. The only one they give you, by the way, because there's more, and a lot of things that they do, it's controlling and lying, so therefore the narrative is not 100% accurate. Right. So including the idea of God. Everybody have their own idea of God, but for me, as a shaman, or for me as Diego, like consciousness is just God. you know, or
Right.
God is just consciousness, and it
Right.
can be experienced in each of us, and
Yeah.
at the same time in everything.
Yeah.
But it's not that it's an individual.
Experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more a collective happening at the same time
Yeah.
everywhere. It's
I-
like one individual consciousness, yes, but at the same time that individual consciousness is the whole universe inside of him, because the way you experience
Yeah.
your universe is different than I experience my universe. You live in this house, you go into a different experience,
Yeah.
and I am living this house, and I'm going to be in a different experience.
Yeah.
And each of us is going to have a different universe, similar, and living for X amount of years, depending like how old you live, and
Yeah.
how old I live. And then, you know, each create a different part of the universe.
Yeah.
That is shared in a different universe also. It's called Earth, and that is also shared in a different one. It's called
The solar
solar
system.
and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I definitely relate to that, right? Because like we are only possible because of, like you said, you know, the laws of physics and chemistry, because those are the truly the hard boundaries of the universe that we can't seem to be able to break down, right? Like energy, you can't create or destroy energy. There will always be there. You just transfer from one, and that's just the fundamental truth of the universe as far as we know, right? And living within those laws, the universe is able to get to a point where it was able to spawn consciousness, right? Out of the basic building blocks of life, of the elements, right? It was able to get to a point, where it created a planet, fucking a little bit away from almost like towards the edge of the Milky Way, and it was just in the right amount of sunlight, right? It was just far away enough from the sun. It had enough water, and it wasn't, destroyed by other, pulled in by other gravitational sources or whatever. So it was just perfect enough where the basic building blocks of the universe was able to build something as complex as life. And then over time, given, 3.5 billion years, we were able to get to a point where now we have consciousness. Now the universe is experiencing itself as human beings, as trees, as snakes, plants, whatever, right? As any form of life.
do you know the theory of supernovas?
Yeah, yeah,
So it goes something similar, because
Yeah.
you have to have the right conditions in the universe so a supernova can exist.
yeah, yeah. And that's what it is. And they're so rare. But without supernovas, like, did you know that we were a part of supernovas?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So there's like that evidence right there is just like we are a direct result of what is happening in the universe on a bigger scale,
Bro, like when I was a kid, I have this dream. It was some more like a nightmare for me,
Yeah.
because I was 6 years old or something like that, and then suddenly I dreamed that my world was disappearing, that like a white spectrum was coming,
Yeah.
kind of like a supernova happens. and then
Damn,
it's
bro.
like
Wait, how old were you?
6.
6? Dude, that's a deep existential dream to be having at 6 years old, man. Okay, anyway, go on with your dream. That's crazy. Holy shit. It's 6 years old and be like, am I real?
I don't even was watching TV. I think at the time, I think it was not like that much, like in my family. But anyways, I'm sleeping and I'm like running. I don't know what's going on. I just like hear like people screaming.
Yeah.
Like something like a meteorite can just come in and destroy like our planet.
Yeah.
And then people is screaming, and I saw people like running.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I get anxious because everybody's like running like go this way,
As
and
a
I just
human,
like
you
start
start
running.
running too, yeah.
Yeah, and then everybody's screaming, and then I'm just like looking in the back, but I cannot see anything. I just
Yeah.
see everything is turning white and white and white and white and
And-
white and white until like everything is completely like pretty much exterminated or
Yeah.
disappear in white. But my consciousness is still there, and then I wake up.
Bruh. And how did you feel after you woke up?
Confused,
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
Like afraid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why I'm sleeping, like dreaming this stuff.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. And at the time, it's even worse because you're a kid, and now we have a different perspective of the universe, how it
Yeah.
works. But at the time, it's like so confusing.
You have no idea what the heck's happening as a child. Yeah, yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, that's a very, very deep question to be, I don't know, thinking about as a 6-year-old, I think. I don't know. I don't think I started experiencing, that kind of experiential or existential crisis kind of mind. You know what I mean? Like, that's a deep question.
It's
right?
like I experienced like the end of the end. Like it's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The universe at that point, like it's like a black hole. At some point, like disappear and then poof, happens again.
Yeah,
and then disappear and then happens again. And so I experienced that disappearing. That
you experienced death in a way.
I was kind of like in my consciousness. I was the
at
last
6
person.
years old, dude. That's
know?
fuck.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I was having 6 years old in the dream. That's another thing. I may be I don't know,
older,
in my 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
Like now, whatever, for example. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's...
that's so interesting, man.
There is like a dream in a dream.
Yeah.
You don't know if you were in that dream and then you wake up here, you were in this dream and then you're going to wake up there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Inception.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fucking great movie. I loved Inception, man.
There's also like this quote from, I don't remember who was, but it was a Japanese philosopher or Asian philosopher.
Yeah.
He's like, I was dreaming that I was a butterfly, and then it was beautiful, and I was enjoying my butterfly dream.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, and I was a human, and I was, still enjoying my life, but I was a human.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I'm actually a butterfly that haven't wake up yet, and I'm still sleeping. That I'm a human, or I'm a human
Bro,
that is sleeping.
That's actually crazy, bro. That's actually, bro. What if we all die and you just wake up as a butterfly and you're like, wow, that was a crazy ass dream.
Yeah.
And you go about and just fly away, bro.
Or it could be like, like maybe it was like a little like a cocoon.
Yeah.
Just like meanwhile you're in the cocoon, you are like experiencing all this dream this
yeah,
life,
yeah.
and then you wake up and you are like a butterfly. And like,
the fuck?
the fuck?
Yeah.
Now I'm a fucking butterfly.
Yeah. Big experience. Honestly, but that like the interesting about the universe is like it feels like that. When I die, I don't want to be buried in like a casket or anything. I think I would like to be just like buried beside a tree, just dig a hole and just leave my body there. I don't know, man. Like let the scavengers come, let the fucking fungi and the other plants and bacteria grow on me, because that's what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to return to the earth that I come from, so that I can feed and continue the cycle of life. I have to complete that next step as a human being, and I think we all do. But I'm not gonna die yet, but that's near the end. But I was saying, because you're like literally your physical being becomes a part of other beings, and it gets recycled into something else, and I will become a part of that tree. I will become I will lay the nutrient for a fertile for fertile soil, so that like plants can grow on it. You know what I mean? And then they can go on to support other life. So maybe I'll be a part of a fucking piece of grass and piece of a tree, and then I'm also part of this fungi and this bacteria, but then that eventually gets eaten by a fucking gazelle, and now I'm a part of that gazelle again, and then gazelle eventually fucking gets eaten by a wolf, and then now my particles are part of wolf. And so every time a part of my being gets transferred to something else, then you're connected on a fundamental level. So, and because we are all part of the universe like that, I relate to what you're saying. Is like we also experience our individual realities. That's true, but we're also a part of a collective consciousness, right? A collective universal consciousness, because we are all connected to this universe. We are in this universe together, but also just experiencing different versions of it. But it's interesting because everything kind of flows and everything is connected in this universe. So we are all, no matter what, we will always have a connection, because we are in this universe, and especially on this planet. Like I don't know, going forward, I think just humanity, we need to treat each other, like you said, the way we want to be treated, right? And figure out the best course of action going forward. And that starts with individually, and also working up all the way from not just individual level, but to organizational, institutional levels, where they can make change on on a broader scale, right? Essentially politics at this point, if you can kind of figure out how to agree and figure out the best move forward. But anyway, not only as a human being we need to be in alignment in order for us to go the direction we want to. We also, I think, need as much of an alignment as possible as like a global society, so we can tackle climate change as an issue, tackle poverty, inequality as an issue, because those are fundamental things that we can overcome, right? And I don't know, I think me potentially going back and pursue a career either in business or in education or to be a teacher, I want to find a way to impact people's lives in a positive way, and that's at the end of the day, I think like if not for people, and making your life better and other people's life better, it's like, what am I doing this for? Because everything else feels so hollow.
This is actually like the reason why. This is a view of different cultures or different people.
Yeah.
And they say that God itself invented the whole universe because he was alone and so lonely.
Yeah.
So he needs to have this idea of like he's more than one person in the universe.
Yeah.
And like at some point he get lost in his own creation.
Yeah.
And then we start again. Like this is like the resurrection that Christus calls.
Yeah.
That Jesus Christ calls resurrection is the part of we die our ego and reborn into compassion. Now we still understand the universe and now we see with compassion. So now we go back again to the source or to God, if you want to call it this way.
Yeah.
Which is just being conscious. Consciousness is for a lot of they call it also too. It's a philosophy, I think. Don't remember the name.
Yeah.
But they said that the Jesus Christ beliefs or cultures or influences in his life was a lot about the Christ, like, because his name was Jesus, but he says from this point forward, now call me Jesus Christ, because I create Christ is for him the alignment.
Yeah.
He's like, now I'm aware.
Yeah.
Now I know the power. I don't just believe. I know.
Right. You felt it. You've connected to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting perspective, and I think like across cultures, across human experiences, we're all saying the same thing. I think we're starting to realize that,
Well, this is like the rebirth of consciousness right now.
Yeah.
We are in the era apparently too of the rebirth of consciousness.
Yeah.
It's like when everything starts again, and this time if it doesn't start right, and that's it.
Then start again,
Yeah.
try again, because and like I believe as well, like it seems like the universe is also cyclical. It's just like big bang start, expand, and then expands to a certain point, then reaches its limit, and then it starts to contract again, comes back, collapses on itself.
It's like
And
breathing.
Exactly. There's so many cyclical things that are just like examples of that, like repeated again and again from different disciplines of life, right? Different aspects of physics, chemistry, the cycle it goes on and on. So anyway, just to say thank you, and thank you for my time here, right? Gonna continue to cycle, continue to breathe, and as long as I got life in me, I'm gonna do my best to live the life that I want to live.
I know you will, brother.
So
like we already have the first step going forward.
Yeah,
self-awareness. You got the self-awareness. Now
Yeah.
you create your purpose.
Yeah.
Then you create your purpose, and then you're happy in life, because the
Yeah,
purpose for like most of us, I don't know if like some of you agree or disagree, but the purpose of most of us is like, number one, feel free
Yeah.
of anything, religions, societies, cultures, pre-programs since we're born.
Yeah.
Freedom full of thought and ideas. And second, once we feel free, then apport some value.
Yeah.
That's what a man or a woman, a human,
Yeah.
make them happy, mainly.
Yeah.
Because that, even if the other doesn't feel grateful, like you guys, we can be doing the good value, and some of you don't feel grateful.
Yeah.
Anyways, more people will continue like absorbing this and can bring it back to you. So when it comes back to you, then you realize if the value is good or not.
Yeah.
Because what goes around comes around. Whatever we give to the world gives us back.
Yeah.
And of course, we wish to be more power to the people, but it's not. But that's what it is.
It still is, though.
Yeah.
If you all have, anyway, I want to say thank you again. Yeah. For the time that we've spent here. I'll always cherish it. I'll always remember it. I'll always look on it, look back on it with a smile. And, but yeah, it's not goodbye, brother. It's see you later.
See you later. See you at Playa del Carmen.
That's right. I'll see you there, brother. Okay. I'll see you there. I'll be at the beaches, man. Yeah, we'll pick this conversation up to be continued.
Yeah.
All right.
For now.
Yeah.
Cheers.